Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking, and I didn't know if I was going to give you guys this video or not because it felt a little, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm going to talk about the fall of Atlantis. I don't know anything about Atlantis. This is the first time I've heard about it. I've never researched it. I know that it was some kind of prosperous city that failed to exist. But I really know zero about Atlantis. So I'm going to tell you what I do know. So this started off with Archangel Michael. He kind of picked me up, and it's funny because I'll be like here in like the Earth plane, and he'll just like grab me and like we'll shoot up, and we'll always stop off in this like really fake 12th dimension. It's hard to explain. It's supposed to represent the 12th dimension, but I understand that it's literally like a representation and not the actual thing. So it's like it's got like a cloud, big cloud for the floor and all that. So he flies me up there and we stop, and it's a white Pegasus is up there, and it's Michael's Pegasus. And so I kind of hug on him, and I see my black Pegasus is up there. So it's like, okay. And so we both get on the Pegasus and we take off. And so where Michael, so here's what happens. I say, are we going somewhere? And he said, if you like. So he smiles. I tell him, okay. I can see that we are heading into the cosmos, a black sky with stars. Then I see that we are heading towards Earth. I feel a little panic because it's very similar to another situation I had with Michael when my soul left my body. And so I'm kind of anxious and I'm like, oh, great. Did I die again? And he's like, no, you're fine. I promise. And I can see that we're heading towards like something that looks like an island. And let's see. And so I ask him, are we going to Lemuria? But it didn't look like Lemuria because I've been there before. And he says no. And I'm like, Atlantis? And he says, yes. And I'm like, oh. So all of a sudden, we're on the ground. I see a massive waterfall and temples made of gold. Michael and I have a lot of gold jewelry on. So this is a past lifetime. Ooh, 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 Oliver, come on, buddy. Oliver decided this is the perfect time to come stake out the area and find a better place to lay down. Hello, world. All right, you lay down so I can talk about Atlantis. Okay, so this is a past lifetime with Michael and I. He's a male, I'm a female. We've got a bunch of gold jewelry on. And I'm like in shock. I'm like, we had a lifetime here? And he's like, yes. Um, and I was shocked because I don't naturally feel any like connection or awe or interest in Atlantis, which is why I've never researched it, never anything. Um, Although there's other things I'm interested in that I haven't researched either. But I was surprised. And when he says yes, he had like concern in his eyes. And so I was just like, seriously? Because every time it's a lifetime with Michael, something traumatic has to happen. So I'm just like, okay, he's got that look in his eye. This is not going to be a pretty lifetime. His eyes are basically warning me. So him and I are partnered in that lifetime. We are happy, playful with each other. Something is going on politically in Atlantis. Dark energies have infiltrated the top areas of our leadership, and it makes us sick to know it. We do nothing to change it. We only acknowledge that we dislike it. Atlantis prides itself on its spirituality and its wisdom of the sacred. Yet something superficial has creeped in. Ego and power start contaminating what was once pure and from the heart. The people in power, getting a little energy with this, I probably should have done a little more protections before I did this video, so I'm just asking Odin to do extra protections right now. Okay. The people in power in Atlantis began channeling the Anunnaki, claiming that these were the highest and wisest of spirit guides. The Atlantean leaders were warned by the Anunnaki that Lemuria had been overtaken by evil and was plotting to wage war against them. This was a lie. In a search for power, the Atlantean leaders created nuclear weapons. Sound familiar? There was talk of war constantly. Armies were being assembled. All Atlantean men were being called into this army. It was devastating news to both me and Michael. We prayed for guidance, but took no real action. With our armies assembled, meaning with the Atlantean armies assembled, and ready to be deployed, an error was made that detonated the nuclear weapons that were being housed underwater, because these were underwater missiles. So they're being housed underwater. Somebody makes a mistake and they go off. When they detonated, they set off a series of events, killing everyone in the army and destroying the narrow land structure below the island that held us above the water. In the middle of the night, this goes off, this happens. So I was already awake because I was crying because Michael, I don't know what his name was in that lifetime, Michael was gone. He had to go join the army. The ground shook for 30 minutes as tsunami waves started hitting the island. We lost our power. In the pitch black night, ocean currents dragged the survivors out to sea. We thought we were under attack. We thought the Lemurians had come to kill us. We had no idea our own weapon had been detonated and was now causing the island to sink into the ocean. It was a horror to need help and receive none, to hear others screaming for help, and to eventually drown in the ocean currents. It took months for the island to completely sink, but that night, all of Atlantis died. So that's the end of the vision. I personally have like a horrific fear of the ocean at night, and actually so does my cousin in this lifetime. And we've never, well, I should say I've never known what the root cause of that was. I used to live in California near the ocean, and you know, out there you can just walk on the piers out over the water, and if it was nighttime, a lot of times I just couldn't do it. I just wouldn't. And other times I do it, and like the whole time I'm just like, okay, if this pier collapses and I fall in the ocean, like what am I gonna do? Like it's ridiculous. Anyways, so now I know based on this, what I've seen, I know where my fear of the ocean at night comes from, and I know that she had to be incarnated on that in Atlantis at this time as well. So, again, I don't know anything about Atlantis. This is what I was given. I'm interested to see what all of you say because I know a lot of you research the internet and kind of like listen to other channelers. And obviously, I have to trust whatever Metatron gives me because why wouldn't I? But I'm still interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are on what he's given me. So, okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.